Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Conversational Pressure, where we discuss real life topics, share our truths, creativity, and encouragement with listeners to nurture, heal, and inspire, all while making you laugh and sometimes cry, but both times giving you hope. I am one of your hosts, Ebony, and for the next hour, we will be discussing cheating and its many consequences. With me today is my co-host,
Dimetra.
So, Dee, how you doing? I always like to start off with how are you doing this week thus far?
I'm doing good.
Well, I'm saying since our last meet up.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing good. I don't have nothing to complain about. I mean,
That's
although
right.
it could be some things that can be complained about. I won't complain because
Amen. 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 So to jump right into our topic. Oh, my week is I'm back to work, y'all. I'm grateful for my job.
Yeah.
It's written all over my face. No, really. It was a good day today. They didn't work me too much, so it was a plus. Just getting back into the groove of things. Yeah, that's all. All right. So to jump right into our topic, cheating and its many consequences, I'm going to start by asking, what is your definition of cheating? What do you look at as cheating? Because I feel like there are definitely different forms of emotional, physical,
Yeah.
What is your definition?
So my definition of cheating is not only if you're just intimate with somebody, like physically, but if you're emotionally intimate with them, I feel like that's cheating. I feel like that's cheating, amongst other things,
Right.
Those two right there are like my main two,
Yeah.
that some people always think, well, if you're waking up every morning thinking about somebody else, calling them, texting them, good morning, that's cheating.
Yes.
That's cheating. And I'm not saying a good girlfriend, or I understand like I have male friends that are just my male friends.
Right.
And we do check on each other.
Right.
But it's not every single morning.
Yeah.
How you doing? What you doing? Just checking in. I think that's what you do with your mate.
I agree with that. I definitely believe that emotional cheating to me is probably worse than the physical to me.
I agree.
Because it starts there, really. It's because I had actually said under someone's post, it was a guy who said he gave all these reasons for why people cheat. And I was like, well, you left out the most important one. People cheat because that's what they choose to do.
It's a choice.
Anything else outside of that is just an excuse for why someone has cheated. But because you don't just go out here and just fall into it. Yeah, it's none of that. It's something that leads up to it. If you're out here, if you have a mate, you're married, you're in a relationship, or whatever the case may be, and you're meeting people and getting people phone numbers, then what are you really doing? So I definitely feel like emotional cheating is worse than the actual act of because by the time it's gotten to that part, the physical, the damage is pretty much already done. Yeah.
I agree with that. I know for the most part, for women, if we go in there, we've been checked out.
Yeah.
Me personally, like, I'm not going to degrade who I am and the woman that I've become because you cheated and I'm going to cheat back. No, I'm not going to do that. That's just a definition of who you are. But I had this conversation with my husband.
Oh, Lord.
And we were just discussing like cheating, why people cheat, da 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 da, and what he told me was that for most men, and of course it wasn't a blanket, for most men, it don't even have to be a cheating thing. That person could not have any qualities that attract them or interest them. Just the fact that they just have a vagina and it's something different from what they getting. He said you could be having these marvelous 10-course meals at home, and they are chef prepared, just the greatest meal you could have, and then you could say, you know, I'm gonna get me a hamburger from McDonald's. So it doesn't speak to who you are as a woman, or that you're an addict, because a lot of times we internalize it, like, well, what's wrong with me, you know?
So that kind of falls under the consequences, so go ahead though. But yeah.
So and it could have even though I've grown to understand that if you cheat, that have nothing to do with me, that's your issue. But he confirmed it, the woman could be doing everything right and be everything, checking all the boxes every day, whatever, and a man could just wake up one morning and just be like, yeah, I'm going down to Wendy's. No gourmet meal for me tonight. Just want something different, you know.
But no, and
I just, for me, it's just, I'm not a man, so I've never been in a man's body, so I can't understand that, because I know for me, I don't want to just share myself with just anybody, just to get a freaking ballpark hot dog.
And so that's like conversations that Sean and I have had when it comes to just relationships and our friends and people we know, you know. And it's like, I always ask, like, well, at what point do you just getting vagina get old? Like, at what point do you just be like, you know what, I'm all right, after you had so many. and the flip side for women, after you had so many, like, at what point do it just be like, okay,
enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
I think that it speaks to a person. I think they're looking for something externally that they're lacking within themselves. When you don't really know who you are, kind of, if I'm using the right terminology, and you don't understand your own value, and that goes for both men and women.
It's a man and woman thing.
If you don't know your self-worth, then you can go out here, because just like I tell my daughters, you know, why does this person deserve to have you in that way? I tell my son the same thing when he gets older. You know, you look at these things, because just like getting into a bad relationship with a man can ruin a woman's life, getting into a bad relationship with a woman can ruin a man's life as well. So I think, although there are so many reasons why people decide to step outside of their relationship. Sometimes they're in relationships for reasons that out of obligation, if that makes sense.
It does.
And then you really know that this is not the person for you. You really know that you're not being fulfilled being with this person. The person doesn't meet you, and you don't fit. But because you are you feel like you owe them something, or this is what I should be doing. You know, as I know a lot for women, like when we had kids younger, we felt like, okay, this is my kid's dad. This is who I'm supposed to be with, regardless of what I go through. I gotta stick to this because we are family or whatever. When you know really this not working, but you stay in it. Excuse me. So, and then I don't think people fall as the consequences of it. When you have a family and you're a part of, you be with somebody and you become a part of their family, when you cheat on that person, it's kind of like you cheating on the whole family.
The whole family, right. Everybody feels a way about it.
Yeah. My mom gonna feel away, my uncles, I just gonna feel away, you know, stuff like that. And although that's not your relationship, but it's kind of like that. That's how how would I feel if I stepped outside of my marriage when I see his siblings or his family members. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. And it hurts everybody involved.
So that was kind of going into my next question as far as like the consequences. I just feel like sometimes people just don't think past go. And it's like, why would you want, because one of the consequences is that you genuinely hurt someone that you're supposed to love. So like, why was that 5 minutes or 20 minutes? I mean, yeah.
Or like 5.
I mean, but no, why was that so important compared to like, okay, because it's selfishness, one, but it's just like when you think about it, which is why I've always been very big on like, you know what, if this no longer serves me, then I need to go ahead and leave this relationship, because I don't ever want to put any, like, I would never, I tell Shauna all the time, like, I would never want to do that to you. Like, because I have been cheated on before, like, I would never want you to have that feeling.
Yeah.
Like, because it's messed up. You know, and then the consequences become you hurt this person. You've now, in real life, made this person that you cheated on a whole nother person.
Because that person is no longer the same anymore.
They are not going to be the same towards you. Then actually, you've almost ruined this person. It's especially depending upon, you know, the seriousness of the relationship. You know, so it's so many consequences that come along with it, because it also depends upon the dynamic of the relationship. If there are children involved, you know, so the other D and I were having a conversation about it because, I mean, not because, but we were having a conversation last week when we said we was going to make this the topic. And I did say to her, like, I do understand that sometimes, again, they're all excuses, but I do understand there are different reasons. Particularly, sometimes as women, we go through things individually, postpartum. What else could it be? It could be any, you know, a plethora of things. Us as women, we go through things. Our birth control sometimes, you know, our hormonal changes and stuff like that, just in general. And we may push our mate away, and they may seek it in someone else. But what I was saying to D is, those are the relationships, though, I feel like they may not, because you got some people that just are repeat offenders. Yeah. But those types where something has really happened, you know, because if a loss of a baby, as hard as it is on us as a woman, it would also be hard on that man. And we may not always look at it that way. So then, like I said, let's say you push that man away, you don't want to be touched, you don't want to be, and he may seek in someone else. And I'm not saying that it's okay, but that's one of those things where I feel like if y'all can work through that, I don't think he's going to cheat again. If you get what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was, like, because you have some people, like I said, they're just serial cheaters. They literally just, that's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, some people will cheat no matter how good it is.
No matter
won't
what.
cheat no matter how bad it gets.
Right.
So, I mean, for me, like, at our age, like, I can understand that with young, not to excuse it. So if some 20-some-year-olds, you know, that was the case, if they didn't, you know, did X, Y, and Z or whatever. But I'm just looking at a more mature, I'm using quotes, a more mature relationship with people who are maybe in their 40s, and then you're, you know, and you're in this committed relationship. For me, when I said, okay, I'm going to do this relationship, I'm going to be in this relationship with you, in my mind, I'm looking like, okay, what if one day he become paralyzed? Yeah. What if, you know, what if something happened and he's emotionally detached? You know, yes, these things are hard to get through, but am I willing to still be in this with him? So it's kind of like what Will said with JD, who was like, no matter what, there's nothing they can't get through that, you know, they can't work through. I can't get through cheating. Okay. I don't think I can. And I say this because I'm gonna be wondering where you at all the time. I'm an overthinker. If I, especially, they don't even caught me off guard. So now I don't trust you at all because I ain't see it coming. You know what I'm saying?
That's another consequence.
Yeah. So now I don't trust nothing, and I'm not going to check your phone. I'm not going to keep calling you, asking. That's too much. I'm not doing all of that. So if I can't trust you, I cannot be with you. So do something else. Like, don't take the trash out for 3 weeks. Like, do something else.
Right.
I'd rather you call me out my name. I'm gonna fight you, right?
Right.
But call me out my name. Do something else besides that.
Yeah, Sean and I have had that conversation too before, because I am like that. I'm like, I don't ever I've been there, so I know that doesn't work for me. I don't want to be in a relationship where I have to, when you leave out the house, I'm checking your location and all of that. No, I mean, other than the fact that I already worry about you being out here in the streets anyway,
especially
you know.
when we live.
Yeah, in these days and times, but to have to worry about if you over such and such house, like, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Ever, yeah, that is not something that I care to do. I'm not going to say never, because you never know what you're going to do until you're put in that situation, but it's definitely not something, that's not what I see my relationship as.
Yeah. For me, I just don't think it's ever a reason, and I'm saying that now, right in this moment, that I would go outside of who I am.
Yeah,
what I believe in, and you know, and what the institution of marriage means to me, that I would ever do that.
I agree with that. Because I take it serious.
So
I take it very serious.
Exactly. So I've had people that I know, like, that been in situations like this. I mean, for a very, very long time. Like, I know, like, older, like back in the day, like some of the men, they have a whole nother family.
Yeah,
they have 2 Karens, 2 nieces, you know, and they are, and the women know about each other, you know,
but they don't care as long as he's taking care.
As he's taking care. But at this day and age,
it's not the same.
It's not the same at all. Like, I can provide for myself. I can take care of myself.
But you still have women that go through it.
Yeah,
even though they providing for them and the man, and still.
And I wonder if that is a consequence of that situation. Like, do they feel like they need to, that they feel inadequate themselves because they can't provide, or you know, maybe that person is the breadwinner, especially when it comes to men and women.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's an ego thing, like they need to feel like, I don't know.
Right. No,
you know,
I get what you're saying.
So I don't know. I mean, then you have situations. What if you go out, and I watched this one movie, of course, it was a Salisbury movie.
Right, TV.
Long, like years ago. So this one girl, she got married. It was the guy. He was her first, blah, blah, blah. So she met this guy who was, you know, had money, he was rich. I think he was like famous or something like that. And she cheated on her husband. Because he just wanted to be respectful, wholesome, like, but of course, like, in the bedroom. So she was trying to get him to do different things, and he just really didn't, you know, wasn't like, no, you're my wife, I'm gonna respect you, blah, 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 blah. And so she met this guy. Of course, he put a few bugs in her ear, and she wound up cheating on him. And of course, he wasn't as loving and attentive and all that other stuff as her husband was. But then he wound up giving her HIV. A consequence of something that you cannot give back.
You can't get rid of that.
I mean, I know they have treatments now. Yeah. But when this movie was made, there was no cure. There was just therapy for it, but it was no cure.
Right. It was a death sentence.
It was a death sentence.
What'd I do?
So, you know, do people sit and think about, like, stuff like that?
That's why I said I feel like they don't think past go. It's just like, because that is a real consequence of infidelity. The hurting of the children is a real consequence. you know, it's a lot of innocent parties that can be, because see, now with what you just said, did she take it back to the husband?
He didn't get it.
See, but
Exactly.
and you know, so then, and that type of stuff happens in real life. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. See, because that's just, again, like I said, the consequences, that's almost like the crime don't even fit, the punishment don't fit the crime. It's like, you went out here for a couple moments of pleasure, and now your life is...
Was it all worth it? And her husband owned a pharmacy that she had to go to get like her medicine. I'm sorry for laughing because it was really sad. It was really sad. It was a TV show, but still,
right.
It was really sad. But it's just like, when you say, okay, I'm in this, be in it.
Yeah.
You know?
How hard is that? I guess that's... For me, I've always just said, like, you know, and I'm like, you got homeboys growing up, and I used to feel like, yo, what is it? Because at the end of the day, it's real simple. That's why I say any reason that you give is nothing but an excuse. Because you can simply stay single.
And that was always my thing. Just don't get in a relationship. You can do what you want.
But now I'm gonna say this too. What I've noticed, people don't date.
No, they just jump straight into relationships.
And most time those relationships are one-sided. So then that's another kind of falls under it also, because the average person is looking like, I never even said we was together, so how I'm cheating.
Exactly.
But that's why you have to be clear about your intentions.
Exactly. And I talked to one of my older cousins before, a guy. And I, had kind of sort of this conversation with him. Like, of course, I'm a woman, so I'm looking from a woman's perspective. So I'm asking, like, why do men cheat? Because for the most part, I didn't really know a lot of women that cheated. It was always the men. And he said for him that, this woman may have had these qualities that he liked, and this woman might have had some qualities that he liked, but they both didn't have everything that he looked for.
And you'll probably never find that, though.
So when do you begin to look? And he was younger then, but that's surface. When do you begin to look below the surface? I know a lot of women be like, I can't find Mr. Right, blah, blah. He just may not be packaged.
Well, and that's the thing.
The way you intend him to be presented to you. All right, maybe he overweight, but he do X, Y, Z, A, B, and C for you. You know what I'm saying? Man, fix that man some salads. Like, I don't know. Take him on a walk or run, do something. But, I'm just saying, encourage him to change. Maybe you don't like the way he dressed.
Right.
Oh, buy him something that maybe you would like to see him in. You know what I'm saying? It just could be anything. I hate when it's a financial thing. I understand, like, nobody wants to be with somebody who can't bring nothing, to the pot. Like, I get that. But if you find a man that really is everything that you're looking for, but he just don't have, that could change any day.
But you know what's even wild about that is, normally what people looking for in someone else, they don't have themselves.
We'll sip on this.
So it's like, what are we really doing?
So is that a reason to step outside of your relationship?
Right. Because, like, I tell people, you have to be what you want sometimes. Like, it's just like they say, God's not going to, like, you have to work towards what you want. So why do you expect to get somebody that's all wrapped up in a bow and packaged up nicely, and you still a wreck and a whole mess? That just doesn't even make sense to think that way.
Right. And that goes to speak back to inadequacies within yourself that makes you step outside of your relationship.
And I do believe that there is someone for everyone.
I do.
But I feel like people tend to, it's just like, so now you have all of these podcasts that sit and talk shit about women, talk shit about men, and this is why, because a man want this, and they speaking for everybody, and that's not even the case. But my thing is this, for instance, you have men, you have a woman that might say, I want a man to make 6 figures.
Do you make 6 figures?
That, and on the flip side of that though, then why are you dating a man that doesn't make 6 figures?
And you know that's not what you want.
That's where and that's why people end up stepping out, because they go after, it's like, just to say I have this. It's just like you see the men on these podcasts, and it's like, well, you know, the Kevin Samuels of it all. And the thing is, though, it's unrealistic expectations, because it is somebody for everybody. So with that being said, if you know that this is what you want, then why would you, then why would you date a woman that
don't check those boxes? You know you don't have.
But you rather date her and try to change her. That just don't even make sense to me.
I mean, you can go already and find somebody that have those traits.
At least have some of them. But you'll go for somebody who don't have none of them. But you know why? Because they like the aesthetic of it. They like the way it looks. But you can't change nobody. No, so
you cannot. They gotta want it for themselves, and they gotta be something that they that they're striving to be. You know, always say, don't date for the potential that you see in the person, because that same expectation or that same potential you see in them, they don't see in themselves. That's not something that they are striving to achieve. It's just not.
And see, that's part of the problem. We get into relationships trying to change people, and then even though they've shown us up front exactly who they are, I always tell Sean, I know who I married. I know who I married. So, you know, I don't, certain situations, I'm just like, yep, I know who I married, and I would never try to change you.
Yeah.
Change you for what? I wouldn't have married you. This is who I married. So what I'm trying to change you for?
I look at it as though this is the person who, whatever trial that comes up in life, whatever we face it, I want to face it with.
Right. But definitely not be out here stepping outside because of, and it'd be like the most smallest inconveniences.
But it's like the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
You know, that one little thing that you ain't getting, one time you get it, you think it's so big, then you realize, like, yo.
Oh, yeah, because when you realize the grass is not green on the other side.
Oh, that is not real grass. It's like turf or something over there.
She said turf. Yeah. It's just dirt. But no, for real. That's the God honest truth.
Yeah.
Because that's what people do. You know, people will always give you the presentation person.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why that side man or side chick, yeah, it's all okie dory in the beginning. Yeah, they like it until you got to be over there permanently and deal with the stuff that your mate is really truly dealing with.
Right, but for real, when you go over there and you're complaining about what he not doing, what she not doing, that person who you complaining to going to do all those things.
Right, because you're giving them the playbook.
Exactly, you telling them what it is. But that's not only going to last but for a hot minute, because their actual self going to show up. Oh, she don't cook every night. So every time you talk to her, she gonna cook, and you go over there, you gonna get a meal a week or every 2 weeks. You hungry?
And that's what you get. That's what you get at that point.
Yeah. Now, I also think it goes to timing in life too.
Yes.
What you really think that you are actually ready for, or when you meet a person and that timing, and the timing is right.
Yeah. Like, because you have to be to a certain point in your own life.
And for them too, you know. So, but because I think about with us, like, if we would have kept on dating from high school, we would have never probably made it.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah, because you have to go through. And that, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I already know, because I already know who he is today. And versus, not that he's bad.
No, I get you.
Or anything. But who I was then, I wasn't putting up with nothing.
Right.
That's why we make it through high school.
You can leave my bestie alone.
I love him. But I just wasn't, and it wasn't even because of him. It was a me thing. It's because of what I already had been through, and
the consequences
of cheating.
Yeah,
and the lens that I looked through. So at the beat, gone in 60 seconds. You mess up, I'm out. Deuces. I'm literally, that's how I went through relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You start wagging. It's a little bit like you could be doing something. I ain't got time to play with the games with you. I ain't asked you a question. In my mind, I already made up what you doing, how you did it, who you did it with, and you disrespected me. And I ain't taking no disrespect. So you ain't gotta go. I gotta go. And my favorite line was, "It's not you.
It's me.
It's me." That was my favorite line. I'm telling you. I was saying it. Listen, I'm sorry. It's nothing you done. I just need to work on some stuff.
Right.
Myself.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Oh Lord, I mean, tearing up the place. That's what I get for always wanting to lean in this chair. Knock my phone over, about knock myself out, everything.
Yeah.
Dang, I forgot what I was getting ready to say.
You damaging equipment.
I know, I can't afford to fix. But no, I get that, because it's funny that when I met Sean, that's where I was in life.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just wanted to be by myself, because literally I had just gotten out of something where the person had just lied about everything, and it was just a bunch of stuff, and I was like, no, it's not you, it's me. I got to go, because I can't. I'm like you at that point where I was. I'm like, I done been through enough of this. I'm not gonna keep going through it. You know, I asked you, what was it? You lied to my face, looked me dead in my face and lied to me.
And that's the worst.
Yeah. So then when I found out that everything I thought was correct, it was like, you know what? And I'm telling you, the universe has a way of working, because I swear I ain't seen that person since that day.
That's a good thing.
Oh, it's a real good thing. But you know how small Baltimore City is.
Yeah.
I literally have not bumped into that person nowhere, not riding down the street, not nothing. And then some months later, I met Sean. And the rest is history.
Yeah, but I mean, like, again, consequences of cheating, because like you really like mess it up for the next person. I always try not to take that baggage, but if you walk down the bridge and every time you get to the 7th panel, if your foot fell in, when you start getting to that 7th panel, you start looking.
You better. And sometimes you end up probably looking for stuff that ain't even there.
Or seeing some things that, you know, you're seeing it, it's not there.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, you got to give yourself some time to heal too.
Yeah.
Because you go and we jump into a relationship so quick, then we gonna find ourselves in the same place.
Yeah, because a lot of people have that mentality. You get out of a relationship and we'll just get you another man, or just get you another woman, and it's like, you can't do that.
Yeah, and then, right, exactly. And so then again, you going into a relationship unprepared,
and it's just clouding your judgment for real.
Exactly, and
it's clouding your judgment. It was one girl on Instagram. They was asking people, and they asked her, what do you do to get over a relationship? She said, get my hair done and put on some lipstick. I said, well, damn. She said, don't take much. I'm like, okay.
What I had to do is realize that I was the one consistent thing in every relationship that I've been in. Not that I had tons of them.
Right. No, I know.
But in each relationship, I was the most common denominator. So I had to really look at myself and see, what was I doing wrong?
The part that you played in. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, was I expecting something that wasn't there? That wasn't there? Did I read more into it? Was I one-sided with the relationship? That, you know, did I push it? Like, whatever it was, like, I really had to take a self-evaluation, because you want somebody to cheat on you, like, oh, I can get somebody else that's going to treat me better. You know what I'm saying? And you want to show that person
that you're better.
That you good. I'm good. But I ain't worried about you. I didn't move on, you know. But when you do that, you really, really harming yourself.
You're harming yourself, right. So what you just said is actually a positive consequence. Like, it, meaning if you take the time and do the work afterwards, again, it's never your fault for somebody cheating on you. That's a choice that they made. That's a you problem. That's a their problem, not a you problem. But if you do take the time, like you said, if this is something that has happened consecutively, you take the time and you say, well, wait a minute. Why do I keep on getting the short end of the stick? Yeah, then you realize there's some things that you need to. That's why I said that's a positive consequence, though. Does it make you look at yourself?
Yep. Because I used to always think that people thought like I thought. But being in a relationship, I know what I thought about relationships. So I'm thinking you looking at
and everybody,
you know. And like my ex, he felt like he paid every bill in the house.
Oh, so he could do what he wanted.
And so he met me. He realized that wasn't. But he had been with women
that
who accepted that. I told him I would live in a cardboard box between somewhere and nowhere before I sit and allow the disrespect or you to think that you have anything over me because you want to pay all these bills. I can pay these bills myself. And you can take your $20, not that it was only $20, but take your money and you can go over there with her.
Right.
You know, go. And I lost a lot of respect for him because I'm going to tell you, I literally was the type of person that like, listen, you want to do something? I was a little wild back then. You want to do something? Do it. Let me know. Because I might want to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Let me know how we're carrying.
Exactly. So if I always ask the question periodically, I'll ask my husband, cheating on me? He be like, girl, you don't get out of my face. And not that I think he is.
But you gotta listen.
If it's something else you want to do, and I'm not saying it because I'm insecure, I know how people move. And I'm not saying that he showed me that.
But no.
Himself. You know, so if I'm giving you the opportunity to do what you want to do, why you gotta lie about it?
See, and this is my thing. Like, asking the question, I don't feel like that's wrong.
I ask.
I don't feel like that's wrong at all. Like I feel like,
but you know,
I'd rather ask you than to let that idle mind get the best of me. Because now I done made up a whole scenario in my head.
I got her name. I know what she looked like. I think I know where she live at too.
And he like, I don't even know who she is. But no, I agree with that because always tell Sean, I'm gonna ask whatever questions. Like if I see, because again, an idle mind, I might observe something and I might take it completely wrong. You know what I mean? And so I'm gonna say, well, what was that about? And as your wife, I feel like I have every right to ask you whatever questions I want, and just give me an answer, and we'll leave it at that. But sometimes I'll be like, what was that? You know, because I need to know. Rather than me sitting here going back and forth with myself about what I think I seen, what I could have seen.
Because, honey, I'm going to have a whole script. A whole script of what happened. And probably why I happened.
Things just don't look right, but it really is nothing.
There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like, he'll move like he's doing something. And it's not that I'm not telling him, I'm not accusing you. I'm just asking.
I'm asking.
So he's used to it now.
Yeah.
Like the very first time I ever done it, he was like, why you know, I said, it's not even a you thing, it's a me thing. Because what had been so used to in the past.
The consequences.
Exactly. What I had been so used to going through. So yeah, I'm going to periodically ask you. So get used to, so he used to it now. Of course, right? He'd be like, boy, bye.
Right.
Boy, you know, like whatever. But he answers me though.
Right.
He say no. Then he kiss my forehead or something like that. Because he
and see, that's reassuring you though. Exactly. Like you need that.
And like I said, I'm not accusing you. I'm just asking a question. And that's some of my trauma that I'm working through. And he's patient with me on it. I never would have like, it's you. No.
Yeah.
I just be like, we good? Be like, we good. And you know, so he knows what that means now.
Right.
But
because and sometimes, you know, because it may not even be directed, they just might be dealing with something. But it can come from out of nowhere. So you like,
oh, mine's come from out of nowhere. I just call them at work or something.
She crazy.
But I'm just saying, like, that's a part of my trauma, and that goes to show, like, he loves me just like crazy.
You're crazy, you know.
He loves me through that. And when a person understands where you've been, they not necessarily that he wants to answer the question,
right?
But he does still,
and that's sweet. I'm gonna be like, girl, shut up and get out my face and go eat or something. You hungry? You want a snicker?
Yeah, but like consequences of what other people have done. Like again, I'm not accusing. Even I'm not accusing.
But again, like you said, about you walking down the road, then you see the brick. Somebody actually left a comment and said, you have to step over that 7th brick or walk another route after learning your lesson.
I know that's right.
But like you said, once you get to that 7th brick so many times, after you like,
you get a little.
I know what happened the last time
I got here. Like, this is true. When, and that was my thing. All right, now when he about to do what everybody else did. But I can tell you, although I still do ask that question from time to time, I'm not insecure.
Right.
If he has female friends, he a businessman, so he dealing with only 2 people, male or female. Ain't nothing else.
Right.
He gonna either be dealing with a woman or a man. So 50% of the time, 50% of the chance he is with the female, and I'm okay with that. But it's just, I had to get to that point where I realized, all right, the bottom not gonna fall out of this. I don't think I've asked him this year.
Not this year. I mean, shoot, we in October.
Asked him this year.
We in October. Doing it. I'm proud of you either way.
But yeah.
I feel that though.
Yeah. So it goes both ways with men though. I know some men be like, she out here doing this,
right,
bro? Like she ain't doing nothing.
That's not.
Like I know she is. Well, how you know? Because such and such. Like yo, that don't even make sense. Make it make sense. You can't even piece that together.
I remember one time I was accused. This was not by my husband, but this was years ago. I was accused of cheating, and it was because me and this person lived together, and they said that I put a wet rag in the bottom of the dirty clothes hamper. So I was like, well, what is that?
Why was you dirty clothes that?
Well, why exactly? I was so confused. I was like, so I put the wet rag there. Why? Like, what?
No.
I mean, I had so many questions, but
he accused me
of cheating, and it was because why is this wet rag in the bottom of the dirty clothes hamper? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know why.
Because I have an idea.
I was like, I don't even know why it's in there. But I don't, like, what does that mean? Like, I was perplexed.
I washed up.
I was like, what?
The shower.
But I would hide the rag. It wasn't dirty underwear. It was a rag. I was like, so at that point, I'm just like, are you looking for something?
And that don't even make sense.
I can't make it out.
Oh,
but yeah, cheating is I wish people would just stop doing it. Which I would.
That would be great.
Really, in a perfect world, I know it's not gonna happen, but I'm just like, I just wish people could just communicate more. Like you could just really communicate what your needs are. If that person is not meeting them, sit down and have a conversation with that person. Stop going after people that you know don't even fit into what it is that you want for you to then just turn around. Or like a lot of men will pursue a woman. And women, they will pursue this person and then cheat on them.
Well, because it was a challenge.
Until you gave it up.
It was a challenge.
And it just doesn't make sense. Like, I just wish people would just learn to communicate because we're ruining people. Mm-hmm. Like, people are.
Because you begin to think that there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
If you've been serial cheated on and
it's bad that everybody can say that they've been cheated on before.
And then you look, and then now we want to see what she look like. We want to know what he look like.
And that don't. I tell people all the time, I'm like,
is it gonna make it better?
Is it gonna make it better for you?
It's gonna make it worse either way.
Either way, it's gonna be, oh, she look better than me, or
yeah, you really feeling inadequate.
Or oh, it's a bum. You know, I mean, not to say it like a bum, but you know what I mean.
Like, oh,
right,
exactly.
So that doesn't matter. Like that doesn't matter at all.
Right. So either way, it's going to be worse for you.
Right.
If that's the thing. I mean, just understanding what you do to other people's self-esteem, or what you can do to the self-esteem. Some people go into deep depression. Some people become suicidal. You know, some people turn to drinking and drugging. Or trying to get under somebody else or on somebody else to try to make the pain go away, to try to make themselves feel better. And it does work. It's just a decline. You know, it is that person just really, you know, I forget who I was talking to. He was like, I really messed over a lot of good women once I took a step back. And
I think we all can say that.
That we messed over somebody.
I did. I mean, I did once back in my early 20s.
I don't think I ever did.
I did.
I just used to leave.
Man, I think everything happens for a reason. Like, I wouldn't change, you know, the outcome, but I did.
Yeah.
And he was a really nice guy, and I just was being me in my 20s. And so sometimes, because I have even looked at situations and said to myself, oh, that's your karma. That's your karma right there. Yeah. But I've only ever done that once. And see, one thing about me, when I don't never want to intentionally hurt anyone. So if something like that happens and a person say to me, like, you know, you really hurt me doing that, I'm gonna definitely step back and apologize and just try not to ever do that to anyone else. You know, like I had somebody tell me once that my words are like you don't have to put your hands on anyone. You don't have to like physically hurt them, but your words is enough to really have a person like, well, damn. Yeah. So after that, I really tried to be mindful. I'm still trying.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah. I'm still trying though.
It's gotten better.
Shit. It's a lot I don't say, believe it or not. It's a lot. And I'll be like, let me just wind it back. Because I don't intentionally want to hurt anyone.
Yeah. But if anybody knows, you have a...
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I still don't feel like I ever really intentionally try to hurt anyone. I just feel like I just be like, well no, that's dumb.
Right.
Like, what'd you do that for? Like,
yeah,
trying to make sense of it. But no, cheating is bad.
Know what you got?
I keep coming back. That's my takeaway. Cheating is bad. And I keep knocking down my phone.
Yeah. I was getting racist. Oh,
I'm sorry.
However, I'm just taking a look back, you know, regardless of what side that you are on, the cheating side, or you're the one cheating, they're cheating with, or that, you know, you're actually doing the cheating, there's something lacking somewhere.
Right. Within yourself.
Yourself. Not with the other person.
Yeah.
Yourself. And it's I know when I was telling you that we was having a conversation and he told me about, you know, well, get a hamburger or whatever. But he was like, he said, so you think it would be easy for anybody, no woman or man, to go to whoever they with, whatever the dynamic of the relationship is, and say, yeah, I don't want to do, I want to see somebody else. Yeah, well, what's the difference? He said, because they don't think they're going to get caught.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to say, whether you come to me and tell me.
I can respect you if you can have the conversation with me. What I don't respect is the lie. But I understand, like, if you don't really want to hurt this person, you just want. But if
you don't really want to hurt the person,
like, why do it?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just like, well, you can't have it both ways. Like, you're going to eventually get caught because the person who you cheating with, they're going to eventually catch feelings, whether man or woman, because men most of the time catch feelings before we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come out eventually. I don't care if it's today, tomorrow, or 2 days, or a month, or a year. Eventually, it's going to come out. Somebody is going to catch feelings, and the feelings going to get blown off. Or you're going to get so comfortable doing it, you get lax, and you're going to get caught up. You know,
and that's normally what happens.
I've been on. I'm trying to think back. I don't think I've ever cheated, but I never cheated on the person I was with, but I cheated with people back in the day, you know. And when I'm remorseful, like once I've gotten older, and I blew up a couple spots. Once feelings got you know, feelings got involved.
And see, I've just always felt like I've never wanted to hurt another woman.
And exactly.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't even about that person.
Yeah.
You know, it was a factor, but it wasn't, I'm about to hurt her. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. It was leave me alone. And then when she like, well, can I bring his stuff to your house?
Oh, no. What is happening?
No, you cannot.
Right.
So, and she be like, she go up. No, he ain't gonna treat me like
he do you, right?
You know what I'm saying? But that was me being childish, you know.
Right. I mean,
it was in my early 20s. Yeah. I ain't had it since I was like, everybody cheated with my boyfriend, so I'm cheating with somebody else, you know. Again, consequences. Like, that was a reaction to what I had been through. So I'm told I'm not gonna be getting cheated on. You know, so
I'm gonna be doing the cheating.
Exactly.
That is funny.
Just dumb.
Yes. That's why I'm like, that is funny.
Just dumb, you know. Listen, that's my truth.
Hey, and that's what conversational pressure is about. Yeah. Speaking our truths, sharing our truths.
Yeah. So even after that, when I did get cheated on, I was like, maybe I deserved it because I did that.
Yeah, that's why I said, when you start thinking in that mindset of, you know what, that's my karma. So I feel like you start doing better. You start doing better.
Look at the chin just for a hot second.
Yeah.
For a second.
You ain't no choice. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And then once you had enough, you was like, you know what?
All right. Gotta pass because of what I did in the past. It's over. Pass has run out, buddy.
I ain't doing it no more. What you laughing at, John?
Your pass has run out. You know. But yeah. So what's your takeaway? You already said it.
I'm gonna say my takeaway is stop cheating. No, real talk though. Cheating has consequences, major ones. Like Dee said, the lady in the movie, she ended up with HIV. She could have given it to her husband. If it's a relationship that involves children, the children can be hurt. If it's, you know, there are so many different scenarios, so it's no way to really put it all into one. But I just want people just to be mindful of your relationships. If you're with someone, communicate. Communicate your needs. And in real life, you may think you're going to hurt them by telling them what it is, but they'll respect you more in the end. At least I feel like that. Again, I'm sharing my truth. I can't speak for everybody, but these are my takeaways. And cheating is bad. Back to that. Cheating is bad, y'all.
It's bad.
But no, it's... What I would like is to stop hearing people making excuses for it.
Own up to it. Be accountable.
Yep.
I decided
this is what I was going to do. You know, it's many reasons why people cheat, but they're still just excuses, other than the simple fact that that's what you chose to do.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's pretty much all I have. That's my outlook on the whole situation.
For me, my takeaway would be this. First, if you are contemplating on cheating, or if you are cheating, just take a step back and think about the impact of that person finding out, what damage that can be done. And like Abe said, to communicate, sometimes you just tell a person where you at or what you're lacking, that could solve a whole lot.
It could.
And if you are the person on the flip side of it, who's being cheated upon, like, it is not you. Don't let their issue consume your mind. They ain't paying rent up here. Don't. I know it's easier to say than do.
Yeah.
But don't internalize like you're inadequate. It's not a I'm not beautiful enough, or I'm not handsome enough. I'm not built like this because listen.
There's somebody out here.
It's somebody out here that's going to look at you, and you will be the most handsome or the most beautiful woman that they have found. And you'll check all their boxes, no matter if you got a flatty cake.
Not a flatty cake.
Or don't, because, because you think about it, just whatever. Don't internalize it like you are inadequate. You are not. Have been wonderfully and perfectly, fearfully created by the Most High. And he ain't never made no jump. No matter what roads we've traveled, no matter what we've done, we do not deserve to be mishandled. So again, I will say this so many times. Don't allow other people's issues to become your inadequacy.
And cheating is just that, being mishandled.
Exactly.
I like that. We might have to change the title to Being Mishandled, because I like that.
But seriously, because I've seen it. I've seen it way too much, from the younger generation to grandparents through our generation.
Yeah, people been through it.
And it doesn't do nothing but cause pain.
And generational issues.
Yeah, and you can't take it back. You can try to get through it, but I don't care what nobody say. You never look at that person through the same lens once they have transgressed. You trespass against you. You don't. You still can love them. You can probably get through it, but you're never going to trust them the same. You're never going to look at them the same, in my opinion.
Right.
So that's my takeaway. You are not inadequate at all. Period.
Well, that was good. Guess that's it. We wrapping it up.
Wrap it up.
I mean, look, it's all natural while we're here. So, wait a minute, you cut it off? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, I got this.
I know. All right. Our producer just basically told us to shut up and do your job. Your job is to talk and read. Let him produce. Well, today's episode was produced by Infinite Social Solutions. They specialize in website registration, social media management, website hosting, and computer repair. You can contact John Williams, the owner and IT specialist, with any inquiries at 443-681-9306 or by email at info@socialsolutions.com. Thank you for tuning in this week. Please join us next Tuesday at 6 p.m., where our discussion will be what happened to the village. Be sure to comment, like, share, and let us know if there's anything in particular you would like to hear us discuss. See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.